Getting your finances in order is one of the top resolutions every single year, and for so many people, that comes in the form of investing. However, I'm going to give you something you should not do this year, next year, or any other year, and how that thing can actually lose you a ton of money. Let's go ahead and break it down. That thing is penny stocks, and they can be extremely dangerous. But exactly what are penny stocks? By definition, penny stocks are stocks that are $5 and below. And I'm gonna give you more of that definition, but here's the thing that I really don't like about penny stocks. Penny stocks get a lot of traction. Okay, when it comes to social media, when it comes to YouTube and other places, people love talking about penny stocks, and it's usually for the wrong reasons. But let's get into the definition, more into the definition, and you'll start to see why penny stocks are dangerous and why they start to get traction in just a sec. So number one, there are stocks that are usually $5 and lower. Number two, they are not reported. Okay, what do I mean by that? Usually when we talk about Apple, Amazon, Google, all the stocks that we talk about here, the stocks that have made you money, that we have talked about, right? They have to do these earnings reports. They have to do these 4 times a year. And sometimes on earnings days, these stocks do kind of fluctuate, right? Those are required by the Securities and Exchange Commissions. They have to come out and say, hey, here are our CEOs. Here's what we're doing for X, Y, and Z. It's what we expect to do, all this kind of stuff. Companies like Nike switch out the CEO. They have to announce all that stuff and say, we're cutting guidance. We think we're going to move away from digital. All this kind of stuff they have to announce and tell you. A penny stock does not. That is something you should be concerned about when a company does not have to be public about what they are doing, what they're selling, what their products are. They ain't got to do none of that. That is a concern. But also, here's the other part. When a company is public and is listed on an exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, all these things that we can easily buy and share on our apps, you have to have a minimum, and these usually have millions of shareholders, but they have to have a minimum of 400 shareholders. Now, a penny stock does not have that threshold at all, which means that 1, 2, or just a handful of people, or a Facebook group, or a WhatsApp group can control the majority of those shares. What does that mean? If someone, perhaps someone with influence, can buy up a lot of shares for extremely cheap, pump them up, get them very hype, and then get other people to buy them only to sell them later, that becomes extremely dangerous. And it is not something you can do when there are millions of shares out there, say for a company like Apple or Amazon or something like that, or for a stock that is already $200 or $300, because it would cost billions of dollars for you to even attempt to do something like that. But I can do it if the stock is 2 cents, right? That makes it manipulative. That makes it a scam. And it is something I see so many new investors fall into every single year. And it's not something I want you to fall into. And there are a lot of questions that, a lot of this starts to spiral. So again, number one, just don't do it. Okay. Just avoid it. Just because it is cheap, just because you feel it is accessible, just because you think the market is going to take off, and just because you see, oh, it went up 300%. Remember, if it starts off at 2 cents and it jumps up by 300%, okay, that's not what you think it did. Okay, 2 cents to 6 cents or whatever. Right, it's not really doing what you think it did. But also, again, why I like to think of it this way: if you're looking for food, if you're looking for something that's delicious to eat, something that is going to nourish you for a very long time, why would I look in the trash for that? Because that's what we do when investing, right? You're looking to plant a seed that's going to continue to grow, that you can continue to eat in retirement, right? That's what people use, like the fruit and the tree metaphor, right? I'm investing for the long term. I'm investing, putting money in now, and it's going to grow, and I can eat off that tree for forever and ever, and I don't need a job anymore, right? That's why we invest in index funds, why I'm investing in Apple, all that kind of stuff, because I know, right, I think it's going to grow. Well, why would I look into the trash? Because these stocks don't have to report. You've never heard of them before. They don't have any products. What do they do, right? Why look there when I can look and see what Apple has done? I can look over the last 5 years and see what all these companies have done, or the last 10 years, 20 years. You pick a time, right? And say, hey, they have a proven track record. Let me go and buy this, right? And choose quality at a good restaurant that I know has a bunch of reviews versus let me go search in the trash and hope and pray that this is going to be the best steak I've ever had, that this is going to be the best burger I've ever had, knowing for a fact that you just dug knee deep into a toilet and a trash can, hoping that you found something good. That is a disgusting image, but that's what you are doing when you are willingly looking into a penny stock. As someone in a Facebook group asked me, oh, what do you think about this stock? And I looked at it. The easiest way, one of the easiest ways to ask or to figure out whether you should invest in something, whether you're on Robinhood, whether you're on M1 Finance, whether you're on Public, whatever app you're on, there's usually a button at the bottom that will show you how well a company did over the last 1 year, 6 months, year to date, whatever. If you've never done it before, just go and click that 5-year button. Just see what it had done. And it was a penny stock. It was 37 cents or whatever it was. And it was like negative 90 something percent over 5 years. Would you really trust somebody with your money? Would you really invest in something that was down 90 odd percent over 5 years? No. Why would I do that versus investing in something that had not done that? Well, Kevin, what if this company could become the next X, Y, and Z? What if it becomes the next Amazon or what have you? Okay. When it gets there, when it gets halfway there, when it gets a fourth of the way there, then I can do that. Stop. You don't have to take lotto tickets, right? You don't have to buy everything the minute you think it is going to do something. Once it is on its way, then we can start to talk about it. Once it moves in the right direction, then we can start to talk about it. There's also the misconception that every great stock, every Amazon, I keep using Amazon, every Microsoft, every Tesla starts off at $0 per share and then works its way up. I understand. I think that's what I thought this whole thing started with when I was in, maybe middle school or high school. No. They start off with what is called an initial public offering, and that is the price that it starts off with. And they price it at whatever price it is on that day. Some stocks start off at $300, and then based on how we feel about the stock, it will move throughout the day and throughout all time based on that. Stocks do not start off at $1 and then move from there. I've had someone tell me, well, every stock starts off at $0 and then it just goes up from there. So I'm just starting at the bottom and hopefully it goes up. No, that's not how it works at all, right? But if you thought that, you would have thought you were starting at the ground floor and that it starts here and it can move its way all the way up to, the next Google. That is not how it works either. So you want to be very, very careful around that particular, that particular thing. I think the other thing is this. You don't know a single millionaire, and you certainly don't know a billionaire that has made their money from penny stocks. That is, exceedingly rare. It is already relatively rare to find a millionaire in your own network, though I know some of us do know some, and some of us know several. But to get there via penny stocks, almost impossible. The people that you may see online are usually just there because they're selling you courses on penny stocks, and they're just scamming you and selling you stuff, to be honest with you. That's what that is. Okay. Again, I don't know if I've said this before for people who are brand new, but I came to this as an educator. Started teaching 7th grade math, my very first job out of college, and then became a financial advisor and managed over $140 million. The reason why I say that is because I did this for a job. Okay. Okay. And I've seen actual millionaires, what they did, how they made their money. Some were teachers themselves who just save and invested in their boring 403B plans, because that's what they had. They had 401ks. I've seen people who bought and sold an internet business. I've seen doctors and dentists. I've seen people who've owned a plumbing business, right? And I've seen all these types of people and I've seen people who only invested in index funds, people who've only invested in blue chip stocks. I've seen a lot of things. What I never saw was somebody, yeah, I invested in this stock, nobody's ever heard of it. It's, you know, I bought it for 12 cents and now I have $12 million. That never happened. Never happened. When you look at all of these books that you see behind me, when you look at, you know, The Millionaire Next Door, none of these books confirm, no research confirms that that is how you get there consistently. None of it is there. That's not a thing, okay? The way that you get there is either the easiest way is the longest way, unfortunately. It's the longest, most boring way. That is slowly investing in index funds over time. It is investing in that 401k plan. It is boring, it is slow. If you want to get there faster, then you have to take a little bit more risk. And that is the key here. You want to get there faster, you have to take a little bit more risk, invest in individual stocks. It's kind of what we do, right? We kind of mix it, index funds, 401k, individual stocks, and you get there a bit faster. But then once you start taking these wild swings, then you just jumping off the deep end and you're just taking a bunch of risks for honestly no true reason. And that is here what I'm trying to help you to avoid, because, and we've talked about this before as well, once you start losing money, going back to the math piece and being a math teacher, once you start losing money, it is more difficult to make it back, okay? You lose 20%, you're going to have to make 25, 30, 33% just to get back to even. And that is the issue, especially for new investors. Once you get that sour taste in your mouth, you know, oh my God, I need to do something to get back, you either A, stop and just quit altogether and don't invest, which means you are not going to build wealth, or B, start to figure out, hey, I just need to keep going down this penny stock hole, and you waste 3 or 4 years. I've seen that happen. And now you're 4 years behind and however many losses behind. Or you wasted 4 years and then you come back to say, hey, let me go through the quality route. Okay? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. I don't want you to have to waste your time. So if you want a shortcut, I'm going to go ahead and just give you some of the best stocks to invest in. If you want to go straight to that, you can check out these videos right here.